Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his
monthly bill?
It's over 9,000! What, 9,000? There's no way that can be right!
In China, alright? But outside of China, no one really knows who this game developer is. But the thing is, China is such a huge market that games that are popular in China can be multi-million dollar, in some cases multi-billion dollar games just because the market's so huge and so profitable. Okay? So, there's a company that makes this game, Dula Continent Soul Master Duel. The name of the company is 37 Interactive. Okay? Now, this game, by the way, I should call this out. This game is incredibly popular. It's sold very well in China. The game is so popular, they actually have had mainstream ads for the game featuring actors like Jackie Chan. Okay? So this is big shit. They've paid big budget to advertise the game, and the game is sold crazy popular over in China. Okay? The reason I'm bringing this up is like, why would Phil be bringing this up on his stream today? They released a trailer for their new expansion. The trailer is literally frame for frame a stolen trailer. It's actually the trailer for Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, which was the major expansion for Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know if that came out yet or if it's coming out later this year. I don't follow MMOs. But you can, I'm watching it right now on my phone. Frame for fucking frame. It's the same trailer. Like, it almost looks to me like they somehow got the source code for the trailer and they reverse engineered it, because it doesn't even look to me like they copied the animation frame for frame. They actually like ripped it frame for frame. Like out there's code somewhere of this trailer and they got the code and they just ripped it because it's identical. The only they skinned it completely different. So the characters are different characters, the effects are different, but it's literally the same trailer. It looks exactly the same. It would be like if you were watching Lord of the Rings and then you were watching a Star Wars movie, and for like 5 minutes, the scenes were identical, only in Lord of the Rings it was fantasy characters, and the other one it was like space, sci-fi, but it's the same scene. Imagine that. Imagine in one, it's Gandalf is throwing fireballs, and in the other one, it's like, Han Solo firing his laser beam, but it's the same exact action scene. Right? Like, that's exactly what they did. They literally ripped the entire animation of the trailer and used it. Now, what's crazy about this is obviously, you can't even defend this. This is blatant plagiarism, okay? But are there even international laws that cover that? You know what I'm saying? Like, China seems to be like its own thing. They do their own thing, and they run by their own rules. So does that even mean, could the makers of Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringer even do anything about this? It's so blatantly, like, stolen. But is there any law that would say, can we go after this company for this, right? And what's funny about this is I started reading the comments about this on social media. And essentially the way that people are saying is, well, I live in China, or I know people who live in China. And here's the thing about China and their culture. In China, their culture is about being number one at any cost. And there is this ingrained piece of Chinese culture that everyone else around you is better than you. Whether it's your neighbor, whether it's the other kids at school, everyone else somehow has a bigger advantage over you. They're smarter than you. They're stronger than you. And no matter what, it is your end goal in life to surpass everyone around you by any means necessary. If you work harder, great, but that's not necessarily the only means to do it. If it means lying, cheating, and stealing to get ahead, you do that to get ahead, to become number one, because that's like the big thing in Chinese culture, is to be the best. And if you're not the best, you're a loser. That's their cultural beliefs, apparently, from what I'm to understand, from what people are discussing on social media. And you got to think about that. Like, geez. Because there's so many things that I've heard, and of course, these are all things that I hear said. But I've known personally, when I worked at a helicopter company, through other people who I've known who worked for other major corporations, that Chinese mindset when it comes to their business is basically just that. It's like, we're going to get ahead no matter what. If it means selling the most subpar product just so we can sell it for the cheapest price and win the contract so that we'll have business, that's exactly what we'll do. Seriously. But it's funny because I can tell you firsthand, all right, that dealing with China and them as at a business level can be a very daunting task, because a lot of the times they make promises and then they can't keep them. They'll say, we're going to provide you a product of this quality, and then they give you a bunch of crap that falls apart. And now you're like, well, what? I just paid you a bunch of money in this contract for this product that was supposed to be good, and you gave me a bunch of garbage that broke and snapped, and it's trash, you know? But they got the contract, they made the money, so in their mind, they got ahead, you see? So I'm looking at this trailer side by side, I'm like, my God, what would possess a company to literally steal every frame of animation from someone else to advertise their game? Oh, because in their cultural mindset, we don't care how we do it as long as we do it. Here's a trailer for another game that looks outstanding and amazing. And Final Fantasy XIV currently is known as one of, if not the biggest MMO. So people are saying it's so successful, just copy what the big guys did, right? It's just wild. So to me, it's like, I can understand if your entire culture is just telling you, get ahead, and if you don't get ahead, you're a loser, right? You're worthless to society if you can't succeed. I can understand why people would do stuff like this, right? Seriously, I could completely and utterly understand, you know, how that could be. Man, what a way to live, you know? And I'm not going to give political commentary, because certainly I don't live in China, nor do I know much about it, you know. I'm just going by what I'm being told on social media and what I've heard from other people. But what a life to live in a different culture like that, where you can't, like, think about that. In the United States, we're told, be yourself. Do what you think is right. Enjoy life, you know what I mean? Be an individual. All that is, like, the utmost important. Then, hey, if you can be successful in life with business or something else, great. But that's not what is the determining factor in your worth as a human, right? Not everyone can be insanely rich, insanely successful, insanely whatever. Just be yourself and be happy with yourself, and that's where true happiness comes from. That's what we're taught as Americans. In their Chinese culture, apparently it's, no, you're just successful, and if you're not, you're a loser. You fucking waste of life. Like, oh my God, what a way to go through life, right? Holy shit. So, man, I can understand, man, we got a game, and we need to advertise this new thing right away, and we have deadlines, and we have no way to pump out an original good trailer. Copy what they did. Word for fucking word, frame for frame, just copy that shit. Oh my God. It's weird because we really do live, at least as Americans here, okay? We live in a very insulated environment. We live in an environment where we don't get exposed to cultures that aren't like us very often. And it's funny because a lot of the times you'll get some major culture shock when you finally hear about news stories about cultures around the world that aren't like yours. This is a case where it's like, holy crap, this is a huge disconnect in a mindset of a way of life. And that the fact that they would do something like this, and it's just okay for them. To them, that's, hey, trailer's out, fuck it. We don't care. Trailer's out. Now people will buy the game. But you don't feel wrong that you stole? No, fuck that. Who cares, right? They just don't feel that. And they also don't feel like there's any risk. Like, to them, they probably like, there's no risk. Who's gonna chance going international to sue us about this? No one's gonna care about that. You know what I'm saying? So, holy crap, man. Hopefully, this is a situation where this isn't something that they do all the time, and hopefully there's maybe, I don't know, like I said, with international business law and stuff, is there even anything you can do if someone blatantly steals your stuff? Can you even go after them? You know what I mean? Like, or is this a situation where you're just fucked? You know, oh well, they stole it. Is it really worth starting an international incident over someone stealing your game trailer? Is there any way to go after someone for that? I don't know. But I've never seen anything like that before. That, I saw this on Twitter this morning. I was like, what the shit? You know? I seriously can't believe that this happened. So, what do you think of China banning video games, same-sex relationships, effeminate men, and games with morality choices? I think... Oh! I delivered all spirit mail. Oh shit, there were no more. That was it. Oh wow. So I did not miss a spirit mail. That's awesome. I thought I did. I thought I had missed one in the woods, but I did not. That's excellent. Let's be honest. A country trying to censor the choices of its populace? I mean, come on. Do I really need to comment any further than that? We all should be very, very grateful for the freedoms that we have. A lot of people around the world don't have the kind of freedoms that we have here in our country. Just put it that way. That's all I'm going to say.
In China, they say, Chiki Chang Wang Charlie Chan Chika Chaka Choka Cha.
Shut the fuck up.